Hello everyone! Today we are going to talk about something that is very useful, very important for us women, us girls, and for our feminine energy, and that is how to stay in our feminine energy when we feel triggered. In our lives, we have all gone through different experiences. We have all different little or bigger traumas, and all these things shaped us in a way. And because of that, certain things, situations, words, actions that people do can trigger us, while there maybe is not always an actual danger. So in this video, let's look at how we can stay in our feminine energy while being triggered, and how we can work through these triggers to become a more feminine and secure woman. So first of all, let's start with a little definition, a little explanation of what feminine energy now is. Feminine energy is about flow, about feeling good, and about tapping into your body and feeling what your body actually loves and desires. It's about what feels good to you. You have a strong connection to your intuition, and you use that to lead you through life and make the right decisions for you. You are also very connected to your emotions, and you can express them in a feminine way. When you know that something is not for you, you can distance yourself from it, or you can delete that thing out of your life. Because you know that keeping this thing, even if it hurts to distance yourself from that thing, it's going to do you more harm than good in the long term. She doesn't react in this very hysterical way, or this very triggered way. When something triggers her, she knows how to look at that situation from a distance. Now, I want to also always make clear that we do not only need to be in our feminine energy, because then we also don't have a balance. Our feminine energy is like the flowing part of us, but we also still need masculine energy, and that is like that logic, that structure. If we don't have that, our whole life falls apart. So we need to have some masculine energy in us as well. Let's say for us women, use the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time in your feminine energy and 20% of the time in your masculine energy. Now, what does it mean to be triggered? When you feel triggered, you feel this really heavy emotional reaction come up in you, caused by a situation, something someone said, or just something that someone did. And it is not necessarily always a logical reaction, because often these reactions come from little traumas in our lives, things we've been through, and our body associates things that reminds it of that trauma with danger. So it will send danger signals to your body. So your body is just trying to protect you from getting hurt again or whatever, but it isn't always rational. Now, why is it beneficial for us to stay in our feminine? When we lead with our feminine energy, we embrace our natural essence. We will be happier, will feel better about ourselves, and we will also attract more things and people in our life that we actually want to attract. Now, why is this? Because if we get in our feminine energy more, we also become more aware of our triggers, of the parts of ourselves that we maybe need to work on a bit. We keep leveling up ourselves and becoming the person that we actually want to become, like our dream woman. And then we also don't react to things mindlessly, like we don't react very emotionally to things, because we know that isn't going to get us what we want, and it's also harmful to ourselves. Our feminine energy makes it also easier to connect with people better, to communicate in a softer way, so people will understand us better, feel better in our presence, and they will also not get defensive when you try to explain something to them, because of the way how that you communicate with them. So now let's really get into what we can do about this. So as I already said, when you feel triggered, you feel like this really big emotion coming up, you feel out of balance emotionally, basically. So now, what can we do to stay in our feminine energy while being triggered? Now, the first thing that you should do is take a step back. Don't react immediately. Definitely, if it's about a person that you really love and want to build a very good relationship with. Just breathe in, take a second to react or don't react at all, and distance yourself if you need to. You can't take back that first impulsive reaction. And if you act on your emotions immediately, you will maybe regret what you said or what you did in that moment. And that is why it's so important to practice some self-control and just take a step back. Just for a few seconds, just breathe in. Try to stop yourself from reacting really heavily and emotionally. Then the second thing that you need to do is ask yourself, is this feeling that I'm having actually rational? Did actually something really bad happen or something really dangerous for me happen? Did that person actually do something with the wrong intentions? Did they actually do something wrong to me? Or does this come from old patterns? Other things that we've been through that our body remembers as trauma. Let me give a very cliche example. Let's say you have a partner or someone that you're talking to and they don't text you back for a couple of hours. You go into this whole spiral. Oh, maybe I'm not that important anymore. Do they not like me anymore? Do they like someone else? Immediately your head goes into this alarm mode. But what made you think that? Are you sure that it immediately means something bad? Or was there a situation in the past that made you think that? Because what a lot of us will do is we will go and text that person like, oh no, is there something wrong? What have I done? And then they're like, oh, I was just busy for like a couple of hours. And then they're like, she reacts heavily, and that actually can really cause problems into relationships. And maybe there wasn't even something wrong in the first place, but it so often goes downhill from there when you react this emotionally. So really try to figure out if your reaction is rational. Is there something in the past that made you think that this situation is dangerous, that it means that someone doesn't like you anymore? Like, look at, if it is about a person, look at their actions. What are their actions actually saying about their love for you? If they're always treating you right and they're doing things for you and they're really showing through their actions that they love you and they like you and whatever, don't go crazy over these little things. Also need some distance in relationships sometimes. Okay, now I obviously took a very specific situation, but that was the first thing I could think of. You can apply this in any situation. By the way, if you have gone through something that is like very, very traumatic, I'm obviously not an expert. I'm just talking from personal experience. So if there's something you really, really need to work through, like go see a psychologist or whatever you need. These are just some tips from my personal experience, like the less extreme things that I had to work through. So yeah, really think about your reaction first, because often these very emotional reactions, these things that cause drama, cause problems in relationships that shouldn't even have been there in the first place. Let's give an example from my own life. Like my partner, we have been together for 3 years. I would get triggered like a year ago or 2 years ago when he would stop sending like these heart emojis and stuff as much. That triggered me because when I was literally 14 or 15 and I had a boyfriend and he stopped sending this, that was actually when he also didn't like me as much anymore. So when my partner actually started to do it less and less, I was like, oh no, maybe he doesn't like me anymore or he doesn't love me as much as before. But that is not the case. It is not rational. My brain and my body were comparing this situation to a situation that happened like 6 years ago or something. My body just remembered that experience, and now my body wants this confirmation of, oh, he does still like me, there's nothing going on, we are safe. So then I could go in a spiral and ask him like, why doesn't you send this as much anymore? Is there something wrong? It doesn't have anything to do with that. We just started to text less because we saw each other in real life a lot. It's just not our way of texting. We show our love through other ways, so it literally doesn't mean anything about his love for me. This is how you can see that these little past situations that you maybe don't even think of anymore, that don't matter anymore to you, can still be stuck in your body and your brain can still set alarm signals to your body because I just want to protect you from that happening again. I really want to protect you from ruining current good situations because something in the past went wrong. So many people do this, and it is really sad because you could have built something so good, but because so much things trigger you because of the past and things that you haven't worked through, you ruin it completely. But we need to stop that now. And if you don't immediately know where does this come from, like name your emotions, like ask yourself, what am I feeling? Fear. Okay, why are you feeling that fear? Because my boyfriend, for example, didn't answer for 3 hours. Why does it make you feel that fear? Because I'm scared that he doesn't like me as much anymore because he does this. Okay, but what made you think that? And like keep asking yourself these questions over and over until you discover the root cause of this trigger. Something that personally helps me a lot with this is I just explain the situation that I'm having, the emotions that I'm feeling to ChatGPT. And I ask, give me some shadow work questions on this. And it will give you some questions. I will answer them. I just type everything that comes into my head. I keep typing everything that I remember, everything. And then I just copy it. I put it back to ChatGPT and it will help me understand where it comes from and why I'm feeling these emotions. It's literally like therapy for me, and it's really, I feel like it really helps me to work through these little things. So I think this is a really helpful tip. And maybe you don't feel like doing this, but I promise you it is so worth it. It is just like a little bit of effort, but working on yourself will make you a much stronger and happier person in the long run. What do we now need to do? How do we need to react when someone triggers us? There's a big difference between reacting immediately, very emotionally, or just acting. Act on the trigger. And I mean, like, as I already explained before this, try to understand where it comes from. Go distract yourself if you need to. Go for a run, let the emotions out, and then you will after that realize like, it's okay, I don't need to react like this, I'm safe. Go meditate, go do breath work. And if there's something that triggers you and you just want to communicate it with a certain person, communicate it in a feminine way. And how do you do that? Be vulnerable. Don't put up the shields. Actually communicate to your partner, I'm feeling this emotion because of this. Like, I would really love if you wouldn't do this certain thing anymore, or if you would do this instead. Actually, the best thing is to tell someone what you would like them to do instead of saying, oh, you do this wrong, don't do this anymore, because they will get defensive very quickly. Also me, it's could trigger me a lot when I didn't know what my boyfriend was doing, like when he was out with his friends. I always could see his location, but it gave me a feeling of not being important enough or not being in control when I didn't know where he was, even though I trust him. So I just communicated like, I just feel a little anxious when you don't update me when you go out in the evening, for example, because of this and this, because of situations from the past. And I would really love if you would just update me on what you are doing, or if you would send a little picture of what you are doing. Just one, so that I just know what you are doing. And if you communicate in that way, the right people will understand. It also helps to point out what the person is doing already that makes you feel good. Like, when you do this, it makes me feel so good. If you communicate in that way, they will be so much more motivated to do the things that makes you feel good more and more. Make sure that you work on becoming secure in yourself, being able to validate yourself, always knowing that you have yourself and you don't need a certain person to survive. We are human beings, we are social beings, we want to connect with people, we want to have good relationships to people, we attach ourselves to people. But the only person that we'll have until we die is ourselves. Very cliche, but it's very true. And if someone doesn't treat you right, if someone just simply isn't right for you, you will find someone better. You can find better friends, you can find a better partner, you can find better people that will feel like family to you if your family is toxic, and you have yourself. It's very important to work on becoming a secure person with a secure attachment style. And knowing that you have yourself and being confident in yourself, being proud of the person that you are, and knowing that you always have yourself. I'm not going to go too deep into this. I will maybe make another video about that in the future. But one thing I can already say is act like it. Some people are a big fan of fake it till you make it and others aren't, but I think it can work. You still need to do inner work and actually believe it and actually become confident in yourself instead of always acting like you are. But if you act like you are a certain person, if you are a secure person, it will be way easier to become it. Because the more you affirm something to yourself, the more you will actually start to believe it. So when you feel triggered, when you are safe, alone, let out the emotions you need to let out. Cry if you need to, punch a pillow, go for a run, like I said in my previous video. Just try everything to get the emotions that you need to get out. That is a way more productive way to let the emotions out than on another person. And it's very bad to don't let your emotions out, to keep them inside, because then you will explode at some point, and it's also very unhealthy for you and you will feel so much more stressed. So release your emotions and learn to calm yourself down through meditating, through breath work. I can't explain how important and how effective this is. Also, a quick tip that I already gave in like a short. Shake your body when you're stressed. Shake it out. Like, do you sometimes see a dog or another animal shake their body? It's because they are releasing stress. They are very smart. We need to release our stress through movement, going for a run, and just like when you're alone, like shake your arms, shake your legs, shake your whole body. Don't think about it, just do what you feel like. It will release so much stress. It's so amazing for you. And obviously sometimes we will react too fast to things. We maybe will react very emotional to a person. It can happen. We all still make these mistakes. We're not perfect. We need to work on things. Things don't change from one day to another, but don't beat yourself up for it. Have some self-compassion. Just know this happens. This is what I'm going to do the next time. This is how I'm going to control myself more. This is how I'm going to take a step back from the situation. And you can also communicate to that person, like, I was just having a rough time. This triggered me. And that's why I reacted that way. It's just because of this situation in the past. All these things you can just explain to a person. And the right person will also understand that. This is how we can stay in our feminine energy when we feel triggered. Identify why you are triggered. Let the emotions out that you need to let out. Take a step back from the situation. Communicate with a person why you're triggered and what you would love them to do if the situation occurs again. And also just communicate your boundaries with people. If they actually do something that is just disrespectful, walk away from a situation when you need to. Take care of yourself. Affirm to yourself that you're safe, that you're loved, that you're worth it. Be able to rely on yourself. Have your own things going on in your life. Have a life that you love, with hobbies that you love, with people that you love. That will all help you to become this person that you want to become. I thank you a lot for listening. I really hope that you learned something from this, that you will use some tips from this, and it will help you elevate your life. And if you want to learn more about subjects like confidence and feminine energy and just inner work, you can subscribe to my channel if you want to. And I will see you in the next video.